So 6 wants to know which of the following would be a bootstrap sample. So we have the values 15, 21, 16, 16, 18, and 19. So a total of sample size of 6. So we just want to count which ones have a total sample size of 6. So A, C, and D do. So we can rule out B. Next we want to check which ones introduce a new number. If it introduces a new number, it can't be part of our bootstrap sample. Because you want to remember, when we're doing a bootstrap, we're just picking from our original sample with replacement until we get a new sample of size 6. So if we look, D introduces the value 17, which is not in our original sample. So D is not going to be a bootstrap sample. And that leaves A and C are both possible bootstrap samples. 7 wants to know when Pew Research Center began tracking social media adoptions in 2005 through a random sample of U.S. adults. Just 5% of Americans adults used at least one social media platform. By 2011, that share had risen to half of all Americans, and today's most recent poll of 1,100 randomly selected U.S. adults, 69% of the public uses some sort of social media. Which of the following would accurately describe the number 69% in this scenario? So since they're describing a random sample of 1,100 adults, then that means that the 69% is describing 1,100, not the entire population. So the number that describes the sample would be the statistic. So remember, sample, statistics start with the same letter, so they belong together. Parameter and population start with the same letter, so they belong together. Variable would be if they asked what is if whether or not somebody uses a social media platform. That would be a variable because that's what varies from person to person. Then 8 says if a researcher wants to study the relationship between whether or not a person eats oatmeal and the cholesterol level, what would be the parameter of interest? So we want to figure out what are our two variables. So whether or not a person eats oatmeal is categorical, and the cholesterol level is quantitative. So it's going to look at the cholesterol level for people who eat oatmeal, the cholesterol level for the people who don't eat oatmeal, and just take the difference between the two. So the difference then would be a difference in means, because we're looking at the average cholesterol level between the two groups.